These are the finalists for the 2026 Mustangs Female Athlete of the Year. Shona Branton, swimming. Liv Sands, track and field. Jonelle Clarke, wrestling. And the winner of the 2026 Mustangs Female Athlete of the Year is Jonelle Clarke, wrestling. Jonelle finished the year with an outstanding 27-2 record, medaling at every regular season tournament she entered, and consistently established herself as one of the top wrestlers in the country. At the OUA Championships, Jonelle delivered one of the most dominant performances of the entire event. She went 3-0, winning 2 matches by technical superiority and 1 by pin, while not giving up a single point. Her commanding performance earned her OUA Gold and the title of OUA Female Wrestler of the Year. Jonelle carried that momentum onto the national stage at the U Sports Championships. She went a perfect 5-0, outscoring her opponents 52-5, with 4 victories by technical superiority. In the final, she delivered a dominant 12-1 victory to secure U Sports Gold and confirm her status as the best wrestler in Canada.
Joined now by Jonelle Clarke. I believe, Jonelle, your name came up a few times during the award show in a lot of good ways. An MVP of the team, an athlete of the year, a purple blanket, in the nominations and the finalists for the Jones Award. We'll talk about the events of the season in a little bit, but let's go right to award show. Based on how well and how excellent and over the top and dominant your season was, were you surprised by a few of those things, or were you confident in the fact that you may be up for a few things based on how well season went?
I definitely thought I had a great chance to win it. There were incredible nominations that were made. So I know that me and my one teammate, we were holding on to each other. And I remember we made a look to one another being oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this. Some of these people are incredible. They're setting new records. And again, everyone who was nominated, I also could see they could also deserve this trophy. I know it's hard because you can only pick one person. In addition, there's so many different sports. Who's to say that one sport's excellence is outperforming another? But I was still really grateful to be recognized, especially for wrestling. I know wrestling is one of those things where I'll say I'm on the wrestling team, and then people are well, I didn't even know we had a wrestling team. So it's exciting to bring home the trophy for Western wrestling.
The last few years, even though for those who say they don't know that we had a wrestling team, I don't think they've been paying attention that well, because wrestling and dominance and awards of the last few years have been words that have gone together quite a bit between yourself and Trey and Lucas and and a couple of years ago as well. How much is it that fact of it's great to win awards, but I know for members of teams, it's a lot of you like the individual recognition, but there's very much a big element of as you say, representing and bringing it home for the team, sort of thing.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of pride in Western and bleeding purple. I think that's something that I miss in the summer season. So that's when we do a lot of our national and individual competitions. And as much as winning nationals is a huge deal, I think winning U Sports and OUAs felt even greater of a deal because we had our alumni around, we had our teammates around. Not only are you fighting for yourself, but you're fighting for your teammates in the corner. And I know for the athletic banquet, we made sure to have our whole team come because we wanted to cheer and support one another. We always make it a point of pride to be the loudest team in the room. Even if numbers wise, we don't have it on the football team or the track team, we'll still scream just as loud as we can.
I was going to say that is personally, I know for me, I've got the chance to MC the last couple of years when the intro video happens, and we've got a little bit of everybody's clips in that intro video. I always stand just off stage, and then I enjoy the fact that as it's playing, exactly where the pockets of everybody's teams are, because the loud teams definitely like to bring it in that category, sort of thing.
100%.
For you, sort of thing, obviously MVP of the team. I'm sure it wasn't I don't want to say a big surprise, but you kind of had a big season. But when it came to athlete of the year and winning that trophy, sort of thing, take me. And I've asked all of our award nominees this, who won their award. what was the emotion like as, you know, we announced the nominees throughout the night and then finished with here's the three finalists and the winner is. What was your thought process and emotion like at that point?
It definitely felt like the release of a lot of tension, like I like taking a big deep breath and like it is finished, it is done. Like I feel like it's been a couple years of like head down and working hard. So to have something that reflects that hard work, it's like beyond words, especially because like again, like coming on to the team, like I wasn't someone who was recruited, like no one was looking my direction kind of thing. So to rise to the ranks, I feel like it's super exciting to show that like anybody who works hard can make it. And like serve as that like kind of like beacon of hope for like a lot of the rookies on the team too that are like, you know, looking up and they're like, I want a purple blanket. I want MVP. I want to be the athlete of the year. Because I was doing the same thing when I was looking up at like my older teammates and watching them graduate, you know, for them to get awards. So it's really cool to like, you know, like full circle kind of get into that position and pass it on to the next generation.
How much is that part of your story, obviously, and even looking at, you know, your coaches submit nomination packages for their athletes, and, you know, referencing, you know, year over year success and stuff like that. For you, it very much has been, and even looking through that nomination package, it was, you know, it was a fifth here and then a third here, and then it literally was. If anybody wanted to say the ladder effect, you're the perfect example of climbing the ladder of over your time.
And it definitely like points to the fact that like again, it's not something that's like guaranteed like for any one person kind of thing. Like it's anybody's court for them to work their way up the ladder and try to be that person on top. So
Uh, what was the phone? How big did the phone blow up when the word came out that you were the female athlete of the year?
oh, I shut it off. I couldn't. It was too much. It was too many notifications. Like do not disturb. Like I knew that I was gonna have to come to it to the next day because again, it was just so many messages of support. It was insane. And like even so, like I'm really excited to get that support on social media, but I really wanted to be present with my team. So, you know, like we went out together. I know we got ice cream and stuff and we just hung out and spent time. And like to me, that is like the perfect way to celebrate, like a little bit more low key, you know, having like one-on-one conversations. And then we'll get to the social media messages after.
You are a fan of utilizing your social media in the best way possible. So kudos to you for doing that in the best way. You know, I should ask you, is there a special place for the trophy and the purple blanket, or are we still trying to figure out those perfect places?
That's a good question. I'm moving into a new place, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I display those. Something I've been doing now is that at my master's lab that I'm doing research at, I have like a little desk, and so throughout the year I've been slowly like placing these like different medals and trophies that I've been winning. And the fun thing too is that before I had up like my previous year's set of medals, and it's been cool exchanging those, and some of them serving from like silver to gold, bronze to gold. So it really feels like a whole collection. And then getting that like female athlete of the year, like it's like crystal and whatever. Like it was like the cherry on top to the collection. So I'll have to find a new place for it, but it's definitely very fun displaying those things because I think like again like social media is really great because you can share your story and like you know show like what you're up to kind of thing. But for those who aren't on social media, like maybe you're not aware of it, so it's nice to have like the display.
I feel like every year when I talk to our award winners, I should introduce some kind of like, you know, sponsorship agreement with like a furniture company, because I feel like all of our athletes need larger trophy cases at some point. For we'll see if we can work on that.
Yeah. It's too many what do you call it, trophies, but I guess that's a good thing, right? Like suffering from success. So
Good problem to have. Let's go through the season a little bit. I know kind of running through, and for every sport has a different version of a season and how their quote unquote regular season looks. And some people have, you know, obviously a game perspective. You guys have a kind of a meet perspective sort of thing. I felt like each week that there was a wrestling meet, and I give full props to Scott Proctor. He does a fantastic job. I know I jokingly call it for all of our teams. We have so many teams, and there's only one of me sometimes, where I'm like, help me, help you. Scott does a wonderful job of making sure to send in, hey, here's how our meet went, here's how everything went, to make sure that we populate the website. Every week that Jonelle was in a meet, I felt like the first line was, Jonelle won again, Jonelle won again. And I kind of, once the second or third one came around, I'm like, I have a feeling this might dovetail into something a little bit later on. So let's start with the quote unquote regular season of things. You know, at what point did you feel the momentum was really moving in the direction you wanted to?
that's a good question. I do think like last year at OUAs, I think like in terms of like training and working hard, I had found like my rhythm. But I think what I was missing was like kind of like the psychological balance to sport. Like, of course, you can get your body in as much physical preparation as possible. But having like a good mental state going into OUAs and U sports really changes everything. And I think like the pressure of being captain for the first time like really weighed on me because I remember like I was winning tournaments, and so like there's this expectation. Well, of course you're going to win OUAs, of course you're going to win U sports, and so I remember that was like a huge weight because I felt like, oh well, like if I don't win this, like am I a good captain and whatever else? And I remember like even like when I lost my gold medal match at OUAs, as much as silver is the highest that I'd ever gotten, like it was a really like monumentous moment, but like I felt really like devastated in the moment. So like throughout like the summer and the fall, I'd really reflected on like what I wanted to get out of this. And so I made sure that I was putting my best foot forward and that I wrestled like me, not wrestling to necessarily put on a performance, but to like kind of like wrestle my heart out. I think that made a huge difference in the way I wrestled. Like wrestling for me, like you'll see me in a lot of matches, I'm smiling. Even at OUAs, there's some pictures that have been caught me and I look really cheerful and not as intense. You know, some people have really like good wrestling stance photos, but I don't know. I look like just like someone off the street. So I think again, like that mentality shift really changed things because again, we're doing this for fun. Of course, like we're trying to bring excellence, but excellence doesn't have to be, what do you call it, depressing or, like, something that you're angry with. It could be something that can be really joyful.
And then we get to this year for OUAs, obviously OUAs in a very familiar confines of Alumni Hall, a little bit different setup than previous years sort of thing. And I know talking to Scott leading into it, he kind of said, there's a lot of references to, well, this is how it was done here, and this is how it was done here. And he really was making a point of the fact that he really wanted to make sure that it was as good of experience for the student athletes as possible. Not only from, an on-mat and a performance perspective, but just, the meet running smoothly and ensuring everything goes well. How did OUAs go for you? Because I felt like a few times, I know for me trying to capture photos and videos, the matches went, I almost felt at times I wanted to tap you on the shoulder, say, Jonelle, can you give them a little bit more of a chance so that I can have, 30 seconds of footage as opposed to finishing them off in 14 or 15 seconds?
No, that's a good point. Definitely hometown advantage helps a lot. I think it definitely felt like less pressure because again, it just felt like, it's practice, I'm in London with my team. In fact, there's like people here who aren't even on the team now, but they just came just to like wrestle, watch, or should not wrestle. They came just to watch and support. And so I think that really helped a lot. But I do hear you on the matches going quickly. I know there were times too, like in a gold medal match, like I really like picked up the girl and she was really like not wanting to be picked up. And I was so sad too. Cause I'm like, it'd be really nice to get like a big point move here. But it's funny that like it was getting to the point of like, I say this with love. I think also being like an older athlete compared to some of these new athletes coming in from other schools, I obviously have like an experience gap, but it was more about like, I'm like, oh, well, I want to get like some fun moves kind of thing. It's not even about, oh, I want to win the match. Like I'm already pretty confident that I'm going to win the match. I just want to do it with style. So it was a completely different shift where like, it was like feeling like I was fighting to survive last year, whereas like this year I was just thriving. Felt like a lion playing with its food. With all due respect, but
hey, when you do it as well as you do it, you're allowed to be the lion that's playing with the food. Because there was a couple times where I know one or two matches, like one of your matches, I felt like it was in. I know you and Lucas had the same thing where a couple matches I felt like they basically went go, and it was almost like by the time the referee said go, there was like almost like there was on the mat and 3 or 4 barrel rolls. It's done, and I'm like, what?
blinking it's
And Jonelle won already. Oh, hopefully I'll have to compile 2 or 3 matches together to get like 30 seconds of content. But you know what? Winning, and I've got no problem with it at all.
Oh yeah, the coaches did a great job, I think, preparing us. So again, wrestling just felt so fluid and so easy that day. So I'm very thankful to them for that.
And some of my favorite also photos we got from the OUA championship is not only just you on the mat doing your thing, it was you celebrating and cheering for your teammates. I'm sure you've seen a few of these. That just speaks to the team camaraderie and the fact that you're looking out as a captain and as a member of your group and just wanting the best success level for the group, right?
100%. I think we feel every loss and win together, and that's something that's really exciting about our sport. That's something that's exciting about our sport is that as much as it's like an individual match, it's everyone in your corner. And people cheering makes a huge difference. Like sometimes you're tired and you're on the bottom and you're trying to finish like one of your moves kind of thing. Hearing someone scream at you, you better finish that, really makes you put it into high gear and finish it because you don't want to let anybody down kind of thing.
And it was coming from both sides because like the teams and you know the
Oh, yeah.
competitors and coaches are on the kind of the mezzanine side, and then the stage had a very large number of alumni. And I know for me taking pictures at one point, I kind of turned around and was like, oh, there are like 50 people that are all wearing purple and all yelling.
Yeah, it was incredible, and especially because what do you call it? So many like generations passed too. I honestly, in a way, I wish I could do it again, but like be a participant because I really didn't get as much time to interact with people. I don't even think I went on stage once, but I remember looking over. I don't know, people were having a blast up there. I don't know, they were drinking, eating food. Like it was a good party up there. And so when I'm an alumni in the future, I'm definitely going to come to OUA so I can go party up on stage because it looks like there was a lot of great socializing up there.
I know Scott was very, very indicative of the fact that he wanted to make sure that the stage was a very passionate alumni section, and I think he pulled that off really well.
He did.
And then we get to obviously you know the results. It's not like the podium results are a surprise. You know you won a gold medal. Was there a bit of a surprise, or were you kind of expecting that female athlete wrestler of the year award that went along with the OUA championship?
Oh yeah. So the most outstanding OUA wrestler, I didn't even remember that they had those trophies. I think part of it is that like when you suck, you don't really worry about those trophies. So it's like, whatever. So I think it was like a huge surprise. Like I think sometimes I forget that I am pretty good and that, you know what, there isn't someone else that is like gonna obviously get the trophy. Like actually I am in the running for it. So it was a very pleasant surprise. And again, like my teammates were pushing me to go. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Like it's really exciting to show how dominant Western is. So anytime like we can bring home a trophy or a gold or whatever, like we want to have the impression of like, oh my gosh, we're going up against someone from Western. Like we want to have that kind of aura, that kind of, you know, dominance.
As chief pom pom waver at times, I think that's like number 2 on my job description of being the. I was just like, I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. The more stuff, that's cool. So it was obviously a great weekend of success for the team, sort of thing. And then you get to youth sports. Did it feel like I'm just going to go out and do it again?
Ooh, this one definitely felt a lot more scary. And I think it's because like some of my toughest opponents, I wouldn't see until youth sports. I still trusted the process. And I think like one of the funny things too is that in one of my matches, it very much so could have been completely flipped and I could have came third. I was like, there's this one girl, she's known for this throw. And I had done a move and I got caught in it and I was fighting for my life off my back. Like I remember thinking like, this is where it could end. But then I was also thinking like, it cannot end here. And so I was fighting. I was ki-ying. I was just like, I was trying to get off my back. And I managed to get off my back. And I remember thinking like, I'm still alive. I'm still in this. Like, I cannot let this opportunity go to waste. And so I locked in, finished that match. Honestly, that felt like the gold medal match because that was the toughest match of the day. But after that, I just breathed, did my own thing. And then for the gold medal match, that like I just wrestled like myself, like crazy, not even like direct technique, just like moves and being athletic and whatever else kind of thing. And that's where I got that cool picture of me like lifting the girl up to suplex. I didn't get the suplex, but still like just stuff like that. I think like people could tell just like the technique and the dominance that I was like bringing to the stage. And that was super exciting. Again, to just represent Western as like, oh, like this is one of those matches where you should be fearful to go up against the opponent. It's not as even as you think it's going to be. So I was really glad to get like a second chance to quote unquote live and complete the tournament. And yeah, it was incredibly difficult youth sports, but that win was so like, it was incredible. You can even see there's like a video of me running up to like one of she's now an assistant coach, Ella. So she also won many awards when she was up our coaching position. You see, you run up to her and just jump and hug her kind of thing. And it's really cool to be able to celebrate with your teammates. And again, come full circle. She knew me when I first joined the team as well. So yeah, it was a really hype moment for sure.
Not only the iconic couple of wins with, you know, some gold medals and some major awards, I think you may have had some of the most impactful, iconic photos this year. You know, the lift and the suplex, I felt like there was a few at OUAs where it looked like you were kind of wrestling a little bit in an easy chair. It was kind of like, you know, a person in a pretzel sort of thing. And you're just kind of like leaning behind them like, yeah, I got you.
I was going to say, yeah, it really didn't look like I was like grimacing or anything kind of thing. I was just like, it was very big chill. Again, like I think having like years of experience under your belt and having coaches that prepare you so physically you'll feel it at your best makes a huge difference in your competition, that you don't have to feel stressed. Though of course there will be stressful moments, and again, like, U Sports really brought that heat. But what is it? Pressure makes diamonds. So that was really
How how much do you enjoy now the fact that you talked about, you being young and looking up to an Ella, or previous groups of wrestlers, sort of thing? How much have you enjoyed being that inspiration to the incoming first year or second year, or the person who's been with the team for a year or two, and they're just, they're starting to make some of the bigger meat rosters and stuff like that?
I absolutely love it. I feel like it's an act of like defiance in a way, because I think a lot of times people will have preconceived notions of like what your ceiling is or what your limit is. And I think as someone who's broken through that, I like to kind of like show myself as an example of like you're starting out now, and you're new and you have like big aspirations. You need to know that like this is realistically in your reach if you work hard for it. And so I'm excited to see. I've had rookies too, like I remember one of them had come onto the team. They'd never wrestled before, and they'd lost all their matches all year. And they worked really hard all summer to, get fit, lose weight, build muscle. And they came back and won their first match of the season. They had told me that they were so close to quitting like 2 weeks prior. But like they had pushed through, and I think also like encouragement of team members and like myself for them, like helped them push through that. And for them to finally see that victory, it makes it all worth it, to show like, again, like perseverance amongst the hard things is it's more rewarding than anything. Like things that are hard that you surpass are so rewarding, and so things that are just easy and that you just get. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, it's super rewarding to help these rookies. And again, I bleed purple. I love Western, and I want these rookies to be able to go out and show them what we got.
I ask everybody from an award winner perspective. We do end up with a lot of folks in the graduating element and the next stages of whether it be the athletic career or the academic career. What's next on the docket for you? I know some people have crazy summer athletic plans. Some people have vacation plans.
That's a good question. Currently, I'm in the process of writing my thesis, so that is what I will be doing after this. Be defending it successfully this summer, and then in the fall, I'll be going into teachers college, which is really exciting, because then I think I can really merge wrestling with my career and get involved in coaching. I think it'd be great to help build the sport of wrestling, especially get more like women representation out there for coaches. And then additionally for competitions, this weekend we have senior provincials, which is exciting. And then a month after that, we have nationals. Then 2 weeks after that, I have FISU, which is the World University Championships. And then 2 weeks after that, World Team Trials. So it's going to be a very busy summer. Definitely trying to focus on recovery and trying to balance all those different things. But it's exciting to be busy. So
a very busy time, and I've only taken a portion of it, so I want to say thank you for utilizing a bit of your recovery time as you get ready for this crazy summer season. So, but more importantly, congratulations on a fantastic year. Thanks so much for doing this, and don't be a stranger. Let us know what's going on. The DMs are always open anytime you want to send a message.
hey, sounds good. Sounds good. I was going to say I'm going to be trying out with the Western Wrestling social media. So if you get a couple requests asking for a photo here or a tag there, you'll know it's me.
I will gladly take care of anything we can to help out.
Awesome. Sounds good.